Okay, we ready then?
Johnny Vaughan.
Radio.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 thing podcast. The big news for regular listeners of this podcast is that Big Si has had a baby. Yay! Wilbur Fowler, welcome to the world. Congratulations, Si and Lou, and that's from all the gang. On this week's podcast, we speak to Roger, who has a suggestion of a hobby I should try. Sounds brilliant. We get the revelation that I was once right, for once. I predicted something that was actually happened. I know, it's amazing. But I guess it's like carpet bombing, isn't it? You put down enough ordnance, you're going to get the target eventually. We hear tales of your games of chicken, which is our new regular feature.
Yep.
We're still thinking of a name for it. At the moment, Gav and I have a friend called Ben Lusk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of calling it Ben Lusk, He's Tried Chicken. Okay. And Gav has possibly the best practical joke ever heard on radio.
It really was.
It's really spectacular. In fact, you're in for a treat. Enjoy.
Radio X.
Johnny Vaughan.
Did I tell you that we've got the chief football writer for the Times, the newspaper of records? I tell you, we've got him on the show exclusively to talk about the transfer deadline. Did I mention that? When the big names talk, they talk. Actually, they talk to Moylesy, Jenny, don't they? Let's think about this. Okay, hang on. When chief sports writers of the Times talk, they talk only to the Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7. Thanks.
Transfer deadline day. Follow Henry Winter and the Ultimate Football Writing Team in the Times.
Henry, how are you, matey?
I'm very good, Johnny. How are you?
Well, not too bad. Not that exciting a transfer day in terms of footballers, but Pep Guardiola.
Oh, what a story that was. I mean, Pellegrini was just walking out of his press conference. He said, any other business? Oh, yes, actually, I'm off. And then the club sort of produced...
Okay, Henry, start again. Take me through exactly what happened. You're in the press conference.
Yeah, and what all the guys there were saying is that it was being a sort of routine press conference, any injuries, any transfers, and just as he was walking out, he said, oh, yes, one other thing, and confirmed that he was leaving at the end of the season. So it was fairly dramatic, according to the guys who were there. And then the club came out with this statement, and there it was in black and white, that Pep Guardiola was coming at the end of the season for 3-year deal, but it also confirmed that they pursued him in 2012.
And how long's Pellegrini known about this for?
He says a month.
Okay.
So he's done well to keep it quiet that long.
Well, how does that make the Man City players, how are they going to play through the rest of the season? It just seems really odd.
It does seem really odd.
Really odd.
Yeah.
So, there'll be players in that dressing room who'll be looking at Pellegrini, City players, and will be thinking, well...
Why should I impress you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right,
I don't have to impress you to play for the future.
Yeah, it's like me around Little Si. Our regular producer has had a baby over the weekend, yeah? So instead, Little Si, who's the junior, is in charge. So I don't really care today. Why should I impress him? Is that wrong of me, Henry?
It's a little bit unprofessional, but I'm sure he's done worse.
He has, Henry, he has.
Oh, I have, Henry. A lot worse. We all have, Henry. Apart from that, what's the big headlines of the day in terms of the transfers?
I think they'll still be pushing for Berahino, or looking like it's going to be difficult getting him out of West Brom.
Yeah.
I think the Jordan Rhodes Middlesbrough deal might be resurrected.
But there's nothing really sensational, is it? I mean, we were talking last week. We were going Messi, Ronaldo back to United, and it's been so disappointing. We're just getting some shots of guys with wash bags at West Bromwich Albion.
The Louis Vuitton wash bag.
Yes, exactly. You're right. Yeah, that's all we're going. Sorry. You're absolutely right, Henry. Absolutely right. A Louis Vuitton wash bag. Yes.
It has to be that. That is the key thing. If you're a young player, you've made it. Even if you're nowhere near the first team, as long as you've got your Louis Vuitton wash bag.
It's such a dull transfer day. We're getting into wash bag transfers. What are the movers and shakers in the world of wash bags? Out goes Gucci. In comes Louis Vuitton to play for
Hermes snubbed.
Yeah. Right. Exactly right. Do you know what, Henry? Thank you so much for talking to us. Enjoy the rest of deadline day. I think that's what you should wish football correspondents.
and be nice to your producer.
Yeah. Happy deadline day.
Thank you.
All right, Henry. You take care. Cheers, matey.
This is Radio X.
Hey guys, guess what happened to me last night? And I can't hold it back any longer. Talking of name dropping, do you know what? It's weird actually. I was talking about name dropping yesterday, Woody Allen. I'm kidding. It's just a joke. Okay, here's the deal. I go to this brasserie I sometimes go to when I fancy a bit of steak.
Is that the one where you pulled the tablecloth off by mistake?
Yes,
with your shoe?
my shoe. Yeah, I took a whole table out. Yeah, God, it's embarrassing. Anyway, it's good because they're really discreet in there. Yeah. And I always like asking people that when you go into restaurants. Are you very discreet? And they think, Christ, what's he up to?
What's he going to do?
Yeah, but you always just get a good table. Can you guarantee me it's complete discretion? What's he doing? Anyway, so I sit down there. And I'm imagine there's like a banquette.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love a bench.
A booth.
Can I just say, note to Byron's, just booth the lot. Don't have some of us that get booths and some of them get tables.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that. Oh, no, let's wait for a booth. You get one guy on a booth.
Yeah.
Hey, I get 6 in there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. So I go to this, I'm sitting in this browser. I've ordered I'm just having my onion soup. This guy comes to sit down. He sits on the table next door to me. He's right in the corner. I'm thinking, God, he looks familiar. Really tanned, long hair, quite old.
Yeah.
With a stone woman. And I'm thinking, wow, I know this guy. I just really know this guy. And then suddenly his starters arrive and he's got prawn cocktails. 2 prawn cocktails.
Okay.
But just as they arrive, that tune, doesn't take much to make me happy. Whoa, whoa, you got the best of mine.
Oh, yeah.
And so I didn't realize, I said, it's like the prawn cocktails are singing. That's like the sound of the 80s. And he really laughs. He starts listening to them and goes, you're right. They are. They're so 70s. They're prawn cocktails. They literally play that music. Because they did. The music was faded in with the prawn cocktails. Then I thought, I know it is. It's Jimmy Page.
You're joking.
Yes. So it's Jimmy Page on the next door table. It's like, oh, see him. Anyway, I had a nice chat with him in the end. All right, Jim, I know he listens to the show, so it's nice that you're there. But while I was talking to him, I thought, God, I hope he doesn't think I'm a real kind of saddo. I started talking to him. I said, yeah, I saw your last gig. And I thought, you've got to be really careful in this situation. So I was really starstruck, which I never get.
Yeah.
And I was really starstruck, and I thought, these occasions when I walk away thinking, why did he see that?
I know, undeniable.
No, Lord! But I didn't mess up.
Okay.
And luckily there was 2 guys on the next door table who stood up and went, Johnny, we love Radio X.
Did they?
Yeah, they were enthusiastic.
Just 2 other guys?
Yeah, but they didn't recognise him. They didn't recognise.
Awkward.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Did you say, not now, Jimmy?
Got some fans here.
Jim, just say hello to me.
Step back a bit,
That's
Jimmy.
a great joke. That's the Frank Sinatra.
It's a Frank
isn't it?
Sinatra one,
Not now,
yeah.
Frank. Yeah, I love that joke. Anyway, but anyway, after I left, I was in the car. And I was thinking, wow, that's Jimmy. I just met Jimmy Page. That's the sort of world you live in. You can just bump into Jimmy Page. How exciting!
Yeah.
How really exciting. And then I remembered the day when I was a kid, and I went off to buy Led Zepp 2. Now I didn't have the complete experience, but I just think I'd like to flag up two moments in life.
Yeah.
The first is one of which I didn't have, but sort of had, which is imagine if you bought Led Zepp 1. This is how incredible Led Zepp are. Right? I know everyone knows they are, but sometimes you know something, but the truth doesn't quite engage.
Because you're just used to it, yeah.
You've got to re-engage with that truth.
You do, yeah.
Anyway, am I talking rubbish? Just
No,
stop me if
go
I'm
on.
okay.
No, go on.
So seeing Jimmy Page tapping the source, quite literally, of rock and roll. I was reminded when I went, I'd saved up a bit of money and I wanted to go. I'd heard Led Zepp 1. I was going to buy Led Zepp 2. And I'd heard obviously some of Led Zepp 2, but I imagined what it was like. Imagine this. You'd heard Led Zepp 1 back in the day. Led Zepp 2 wasn't out yet. So you're going back and back. You're thinking, yeah, hey, I hear Led Zepp have got a new album out. Led Zepp 2, they've called it.
Yeah.
I really liked Led Zepp 1. It was a really good album.
Yeah, really bluesy, and they had a nice bit of acoustic stuff.
I really like those guys. They don't bring out singles, but I really like them. I'll buy Led Zepp 2, and you take it home, and you put that record on, and you've never heard anything like this before ever. And you stick the needle on, this is the first thing you hear. When the bass kicks. Which is why I bought a bass and blew up my dad's his music centre with that.
You need cool air, baby, I'm not.
Were you listening on headphones when you first listened?
No, I was listening on my Solarvox speakers.
Did you turn it right up?
Which I also blew up. But man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What an experience.
That's a moment.
But there is it's incredible, and I don't want to say, it's not like it used to be, but I don't. What delivers that? I love lots of stuff. Okay, anyway, the point is, as Si waves me on, there's a moment in this song that Gav and I both, whenever we discuss matters of rock, for us,
it's the moment of moments.
It's the moment of moments. This is the moment. It's the most rocking moment because we get introduced to the whole band, and I know everyone knows it, and I know it's really overplayed, and I'm waffling, but let's hear it when we get guitar, which is the most rock and roll bit. Did it make you want to become a guitarist, Gav?
It really did. Pretty much this moment on its own.
Yeah. and then suddenly we get the drum and bass in together. Then we get the vocal, and it's like, meet the band. Here we go. Here come the lads. Hey, meet the band! Yeah, I know them. Yeah, Mum, I'm in this band called Led Zepp. Wow.
That's pretty Soniconic, isn't it?
It is Soniconic. It's fully Soniconic. Anyway, I hope we didn't waffle on too much, but I did meet you. It was a big deal. It was a big deal for me.
Radio
X.
Johnny Vaughan.
Radio X.
Okay, Gavin Woods, the Woodman. You told us earlier that you had a real good practical joke for us. Go on, a good prank. Hit us up with it.
Yeah, this is from a guy called Chris Harrigan in Melbourne. And he says, yesterday a friend of mine told me what might be the funniest story I've ever heard.
Go on.
She had caught the train in from Frankston, and while she was waiting for the train to come, she noticed a man sitting down on the platform with a bag of fish and chips.
Yeah.
He wasn't really eating them, he was just sort of airing them.
Nice. I like his style.
This attracted a few seagulls who began to circle the platform. Instead of shooing the birds away, the man offered them a few chips. He tossed one a foot or so away from him. It was like he was beckoning them to come closer. He kept doing this, eking the chips out slowly until there was a big group of seagulls in front of him.
Man.
They're really big, aren't they?
They just shouldn't be protected.
He had about 15 or 20 seagulls, a tiny little army of seagulls in front of him. He threw them a chip every now and again, just enough to keep the birds interested, but not enough to feed them.
Dangerous game.
It was frustrating. They were getting angry.
Okay.
Squawking a lot. It was like he was rearing them up for something. Then the train came and everyone got on.
Yeah.
But the man stayed on the ground with his chips.
Okay.
Just when the train was about to leave,
Yeah.
it happened.
Well, you got on the train with the chips.
Nope. Right before the doors closed, the man threw the entire bag of fish and chips into the train. The entire flock of seagulls followed the bag. And the doors closed. The next stop was 5 minutes away.
That is genius. That is genius. It's like Alfred Hitchcock. Sorry, I've taken my headphones off. I love it so much. He just threw the bag in.
Traumatised me.
5 minutes was the next stop. 'Cause they're big things,
They're
seagulls.
big and that's horrible in there.
Proper
They're
animals.
panicked.
Pandemonium.
Oh, great. And also, Gav, well told, man. You know I love a story. And I love that story.
Johnny Vaughan.
Radio X.
Are you ready for this?
Go on.
Because this is frightening, but sort of brought back one of my favourite things when I was a kid.
Yeah.
BP is, quote, playing chicken with the oil price.
Whoa.
I love the idea
That's
of them
a big game of chicken.
looking opposite a shell.
There's a Churchill quote.
Go on, take it down one more, P.
Some
Let's see what they-
chicken.
Yeah.
Some neck.
Some neck. But just the idea of them playing chicken, they're just looking across at shell going, and Tex goes thinking, take it down another penny.
Yep.
Just take it down.
There's a billion at a time.
Oh,
isn't
they've
it?
gone down.
Yeah.
Gone one more. No! Oh, they did it!
Online gambling
Yeah.
with the world's finances.
I've got to tell you, when it comes to that, they're not going to beat Morrison's anyway. Morrison's will be giving it away with lamb.
Yeah,
The way
will.
they go. They'll use anything as a loss leader. Lamb, just 50p. Just to get you in the shop to buy overpriced stuff. Yeah.
And the energy companies are doing it as well at the moment.
Are
They're
they?
all dropping and waiting to see how much each other drop by.
I know.
And like go kind of sitting it out. Well, we'll wait another week. We'll wait.
Brinksmanship, isn't
It's
it?
just like this. No, I'll tell you why. Because our business has its roots in Texas. And they're playing cards round the table. But they're just going down.
Texas Hold'em.
Yes. Anyway, BP's playing chicken with oil. Gavin, have you ever played chicken at anything in your life?
Oh, God.
Did you sit on bicycles? Riding bicycles towards each other?
Yeah, I used to joust on
No.
bicycles.
Yeah, we used to joust
Yeah,
with
jousting
brooms,
on bicycles
with
is good
brooms.
fun.
But you have to have the broom the other way around, obviously not the pointy end.
It's
Oh,
extremely
yeah.
dangerous, though.
We
Radio
spoke-
X does not endorse the use of bicycles for jousting.
For jousting, yeah. Anyway, I'd like to hear about any games of chicken you played with friends, just dare games. So,
I've got one. Me and my
Go on.
brother used to play chicken with the swings in the park. Who could go up the highest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you think, well, how high can you go before gravity takes
Yeah,
over
yeah.
and you're just going to fall off?
No,
And
before
because
you loop round.
Well, you
Yeah.
can't loop round because as soon as you go past that point,
It drops.
The chain drops.
Yes,
Yes.
it goes slack for that.
Who could go the highest?
Nervous moment.
There used to be a kid, Simon Orloff, at my school. He used to claim he'd been all the way
you
round.
can't go
We were like,
round.
you can't. And we even demonstrated by trying to send it round.
You used to play chicken with aircraft. You should tell that story.
Okay, when we once did the years ago, when I used to do the big breakfast, we once went to do we used to go on like outside broadcast place around the country sometimes if we were lucky.
Yeah.
So you get that night in a hotel,
Oh.
put it on the room. No, that's fine. Just stick it on. No, the producers actually put the card behind the bar, so it's fine. You are kidding me. Let me get it straight.
Foolish man.
There's a company credit card behind that bar. Okay. Anyway, we started something called Airport Chicken, which is a really irresponsible, stupid thing to play. But what it is once you've checked in, is who's going to actually have the nerve to be last on the plane. And it's really irresponsible and dreadful thing to do. But once it got down to it, we were in Dublin, and it once got down to me, this writer Giles, and this mad cameraman called Sean, we never thought would get into it. He's one of those guys who thought, no, if you're going to play it, because he was a coup,
Yeah.
There's a coup, and coups will not lose, especially not if it involves fish and chops.
Yeah.
But anyway, this Kiwi wasn't going to lose. And so we were there, and they were going, will passengers Giles, Vaughan, and Sean...
They're calling your names out.
Yes, please come to the... Please,
Gate,
the gate.
yeah.
This is so irresponsible. Such an awful, selfish thing to do, actually.
Really childish.
I shouldn't be celebrating it at all, should I?
No.
No, I really shouldn't. Anyway, please report to the thing. So I look at Giles and I go, another pint, lads?
Oh.
And they're going, yeah, definitely. So we had another pint. Then we had another one when the second call-out came. Anyway, the third call-out came. It says, we will remove your luggage from the hold. and so I've looked at Giles, the writer. He's one of the funniest men alive. He still does lots of writing. He's a genius. He's just brilliant. He got loads of bottle. Anyway, we're at the bar. We're standing there thinking, he can't be ordering another pint. I mean, he really can't. I mean, this is bad now. I'm chickening out here.
Yeah.
So I'm at the bar. This is how he won it. So we're standing at the bar. They're going, this is the very last call. Otherwise, we will be opening the baggage and really getting your baggage out. Passengers Giles, Vaughan, and Sean. And they're not real names. And I said, Giles, you're not getting another pint, are you? He goes, no. I was just seeing if they were still doing food.
Radio X.
Johnny Vaughan.
There ain't nobody here but us chickens. There ain't nobody here at all. So quiet yourself. Stop that fuss. There ain't nobody here but us.
Okay, I regaled you with an irresponsible tale of Airport Chicken. Don't play that. That's just for airlines to play with passengers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, nice, Johnny. Social comment. Love you. Yeah, get in there, John. Hi, Johnny et al. Used to play Tuning Up Chicken when I played in the National Youth Orchestra. Oh, my God, that is just genius.
That's like being the last person to clap, this
Yes.
one, isn't it? Yeah, when you're applauding.
Yeah.
So what, they would all play the notes?
No. Each section, you always tune up to the oboe on A flat, no, on A, don't you? Each
Yeah.
section tunes up to the oboe with the audience in their seats. The winner was the player who was the last to finish the long note. This was just a brass players game, obviously.
Only the brass section.
Yes, tuba players were always the champs. Comic value is added to late players in the game who came in with the last-ditch attempt that resonated right across the auditorium. Chris and Harrow. Can I just tell you, when I started in radio, and television, I love it when audiences respond.
Yes.
Yeah, I never dreamt I'd get such a perfect response as Chris has just given. That is what you want.
It's lovely.
It's just...
It's got everything.
Let's clap him in. Come on,
Yeah.
guys. Everyone.
What's his name again?
That's Chris.
Chris,
Chris
well
in
done,
Harrow.
Chris.
Chris, I love you. Next one up. Gav.
I got one here, and I have to stress, we shouldn't recommend anyone does this at home. It's a bit jackass.
Yeah.
As a teenager, there's no name. As a teenager, I used to play a version of Chicken involving BMX bikes and fireworks. to stop us
Genius.
we would aim the fireworks at each other from our bikes. To stop us from catching on fire, we would only wear shorts
Good lad.
and ski goggles for protection.
Fireworks are so hot, man.
Terms and conditions. Don't try this at home.
Definitely
Can I
don't
say
do
something? Can I
that.
say something? Yeah, this is a radio station for grown-ups. Yeah,
Yes.
they've got this far. If
Yes,
they're listening to
they
us
have.
now,
Well.
if they're listening to us now, they've made the cut.
If they're
not-
driving a car-
no, I have to allow for the fact that people listening aren't complete morons. Yeah, I know laws are there to protect the foolish and to guide the wise. I feel Radio X listeners are the wise. All right, but even so, don't fire fireworks at each other.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Next one. But you've got to assume, there's got to be a level at which you assume they've got that amount of intelligence.
Hope
Oh,
so.
no, anyway, I'm going to go out and get a firework and aim it at a mate. They're not morons. They're like guitar-based rock. Okay, I once played chicken on bicycles with my younger brother. I was on a big mountain bike, and he was on a big high-riding mountain bike. I was on a big high-riding mountain bike. He was on a low-slung tricycle.
Okay, that's
They're
a bit of an
playing chicken.
advantage.
So man on big mountain bike, kid on low-slung tricycle. I told him if he did chicken out, I would go left, he should go right.
Oh, no.
He didn't realise that meant the same direction.
Of course.
So when he did chicken out, I proceeded to cycle over his gentleman area.
Oh, Nick.
Thank you very much, Nick in Reading.
This is Radio X. X.
Okay, something extraordinary has happened. I'm always saying, I told you so, yeah?
Yeah.
And this time you actually did.
Well, in many ways, Gav, I see myself as like a Cassandra figure. Do you know about Cassandra?
No.
Cassandra was a goddess,
Yeah.
and that's how I see myself.
Right.
No, I'm more Cassandro. But anyway, what her curse was, she was able to see into the future, but no one believed her.
Right. No one ever believed her.
Yes.
Oh.
It was a bit like God being omniscient and knowing everything. If you're God, he must just stroll around all the time going, I knew it! I bloody knew it! And that's how you'd recognise God. He's just a guy walking around going, I knew it! I saw it, of course I knew it! Anyway, the point is, something's happened, which I'm not saying, I'm not, but this is quite...
Well, this is the
Cassandra.
annual you got one right moment.
No, it's not annual, Gav. I regularly do it. This is just the only one we've actually managed to get on
Evidence of,
No,
yeah.
this is the only one we've actually managed to get on tape.
Okay. on 2-inch.
No, on 2-inch. Little Si's gone through all the 2 inches that they keep.
Yeah.
As you know, the show is we use analogue.
Yeah.
I insisted, and vinyl. But anyway, Matt LeBlanc, the Friends actor, is to join Chris Evans in the new Top Gear lineup. Mm-hmm. It's the first non-British host in the show's 39 history. I say that just to boost the odds of what I predicted coming true. Now, Little Si managed to fish out from the waffling ether the exact prediction. Now, this is extraordinary.
Yeah.
If you bet on this, you know how to work again. Okay, here we go. The thing is, it's just such a perfect format that you imagine, say, internationally, if it was the guys from Friends doing it, but in character.
Joey and Chandler.
Yeah. So that's all you got to do is get the cast right. That's all you got to do.
That's right.
Just get the cast right, and it's all there. How about that, guys?
It's amazing.
And I didn't pre-record that earlier. That's not,
As soon as I heard the news today, I was like, I can't believe Johnny predicted that ages ago.
Yeah.
I wonder what his odds would have been.
I don't know, but all they've got to do now is get Chandler and Ross, and Evans has got a decent show there, especially if he doesn't appear on it. It's going to be marvellous.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
Earlier on, remember, it was revealed I made that prediction about Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Top Gear, and I made that prediction on air. Which
Matt
is
LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc, yeah.
From
Can I
Manchester.
have the bottle of Matt LeBlanc, please? You got that Matt LeBlanc? I thought of a really funny thing the other day.
What?
I spotted this certain breed of woman around me that I'm calling white vin woman. Oh, very good, sir. And when he said that, everyone fell about it. It was wonderful wordplay. It was very good.
Lady Petrol Ladies.
Yes, fantastic. But anyway, I was just reading about this. I love when I read a PR quote that I know the guy hasn't said. You ready?
Go on.
This is Matt LeBlanc's. Quote. You ready for this?
Go on.
Mm-hmm.
And you know this is okay. Does this sound like him? Acting out our craziest car notions on screen is a dream job, and I know we'll both be debating some epic road trip ideas.
Yeah, that's not Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah, boy.
That's like when Wayne Rooney says,
Sounds like Matt.
my position at the club has become untenable.
Untenable? Did you say tenable or tenable?
Untenable.
Untenable. Let's have Gareth Hero. Yeah, I'd love to see him and Chris debating some epic road trip notions. Yeah, because that's how Matt speaks.
That's how he talks.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, today's hero, Johnny, is a man called Sid Jazza Ellis.
I love the nickname.
Okay, he was living between 1881 and 1943, and he was a musical artist. Now, you know, in those days, musical artists or acts, they would have one thing they did. You know, like a turn.
Yeah.
So
You should always have a turn.
That's right, but it was just one thing.
Yeah, that's all you're going to.
And his act was, he was one of the most popular turns on the vaudeville stage in the early years of the 20th century. He entertained by lying on his back while his 25-stone wife played a piano balanced on his chest.
Oh, man, that's a turn.
While Mrs. Ellis banged out the accompaniment on the piano that's balanced on his chest, Sid sang the song we're listening to, which is Ireland Must Be Heaven because Mother Comes From There.
Oh, it's a lovely song.
It's a lovely song, Johnny.
It's a lovely song. It's a lovely... I love it.
I absolutely. Do you know what the greatest turn I've ever heard is?
What?
A mate of mine, actually Ricky Grover. He had family. I don't think he might be telling this. He had family out in the East End. There's about 8 brothers, and he said all with right nice, thick hair and lovely teeth. all with right nice, good-looking boys, right nice. Except the youngest one. Yeah. Actually, am I going to insult them all now? No, I don't think I am. There's one of them who's called Ray, who was the youngest. He was actually a bigger lad. He was much bigger than the others. Yeah. And he didn't. He said one of them used to sing a great song. One of them used to do a really good tone. The other one could, do a bit of magic.
Yeah.
And in their mum's pub at the end of the year, New Year's Eve, they all did a turn.
Right.
Yeah.
They all did a turn in this pub, but no one was interested in it because Raymond, the youngest one, was slower than the others. But what Raymond could do, because he was big and strong, do you know what they could do?
What?
They could load the pool table on his back, and he could do a lap of the bar with a pool table.
A pool table?
Yeah, right in the East End with a pool
Wow.
table. And it was like, go on, Raymond! Just a pub full of cockneys.
That's
Cheering on a
brilliant.
man with a pool table on his back. I tell you something, Gav. I don't know, but he's my hero. What's the name of your hero?
Sid Jazza Ellis.
Sid Jazza Ellis. We salute you.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
My search for a new craze continues. I've given up football. My son's too good at it now. The Glasgow Greys are too strong for the Steel Poles,
Right.
which is my team. I've given up on the skateboarding now pretty well because my son doesn't go and I can't do it by myself. We've spoken to Jim, who raced remote control cars, spoken to Keith, who collects photos of people wearing wolf fleeces.
We've had beer pong as well, haven't we?
I've tried Shatnering, which is just suddenly leaning to one side, actually. The guy exaggerated a bit. Well, I got the wrong end of the stick. I think I bullied him into saying it was something it wasn't. Roger's on the phone. I think. Rog, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, Johnny. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Rog, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm okay.
Okay, now tell me about... I've got no hobby or craze at the moment. I spend my evenings...
okay.
I spend my evenings... I describe as farting round on a computer. What do you recommend?
I used to a few years ago, and my best mate still does it, and that's lawnmower racing.
Lawnmower racing. I really want to try that.
Sounds amazing.
No, this sounds awesome because I've taken to pieces and reassembled a lawnmower. I have experience in this field. I did it with an old Atco sit-on of my dad's.
Yep, they have all the sit-on lawnmowers. They go about 60 miles an hour, some of them, sometimes
What?
a little bit quicker. And they do, they have races all through from about April. all the way to-
Okay. Whoa, Roger. Talk me through this. How did you get involved in the first place?
I got involved through my best friend, who is current world champion.
Wait a second. That deserves this. Okay, tell me about his lawnmower. So he's world champion. How big a scene is it, Rog?
It is quite a big scene. It is growing and getting bigger and bigger. I don't do it because I don't have the time for it, but he does it. He does it religiously, almost.
And what do you go round? Do you actually mow while you're doing it?
No, they just race.
No,
I've
they've
seen
got to
it.
take the blades off.
What did you say, Rog?
They take the blades off for safety.
Okay.
But,
I was going to say that gives it a bit more sort of Mad Max edge.
rollerball.
He's on the track, and suddenly just like a load of guts come out.
Oh.
No, that's awesome.
Too far.
No, it's not too far. It'd be awesome.
No.
Sorry. Carry on,
The
Rog.
highlight of the year, which is the annual 12-hour lawnmower race.
No.
Whoa.
It's like a half Le Mans. Do they do a running start?
It is full Le Mans start as well.
Okay, so what do they race on?
They race on grass in fields.
They race on, so you get a track in a field and you go round, but they go 60 miles an hour.
Yep, they go quite fast, definitely. Yeah.
Are you sure it's 60?
Yeah, it really is. I've seen them.
Is
do
it?
Yeah, it's fast.
Okay, and these are sit-on regular mowers.
sit on regular mowers. All they do is they take out the engine governor so they can go a little bit faster.
Okay.
And make a few strengthening modifications to them.
They've tinkered.
They've tinkered. They have tinkered,
So
haven't
you
they?
get to do a bit of engineering as well,
Oh, my
Johnny.
God, you get a shed, you get to do some tinkering.
Yeah.
Oh,
get to
this
do some welding.
and also you get. Let me tell you, the smells around mowers you could not have. Put it this way, if I was to base an aftershave that really smelt of man.
You're talking about groundsman again,
I'm
I'm
aren't you?
talking about groundsman, which we've already said. The smell of mower, shed, creosote, and two-stroke. A heady mix with just a tang of marijuana. If it's a groundsman,
Groundsman by Lontharic.
just that skunky high note that can smell. Sometimes you get that bit when you walk past coffee shops. You sort of think someone's being a bit up front, aren't they? And you think, no, it's actually the coffee. Okay, Rog, where do I get involved? Do you know any websites?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, wait a second, lawnmower ones. Don't just give me. I don't want to sort of like butt naked babes busting for it or something like that. Go on.
www.blmra.co.uk.
BLMRA. Yeah, go on.
.co.uk.
Rog, thank you so much. I'm going to go and look at that tonight. Excellent.
X.
Johnny Vaughan.
That's my name, baby. Don't wear it out.
Move your elbows.
What I'm starting to do now as well, I'm starting to hold the mic while I talk. I'm just getting a bit more rock and roll on the
Makes quite a
show.
lot of noise, though, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah.
It gives it that pirate radio. Right into the microphone, too. Way too well. Come on.
I'll try and out from there like Dan O'Connell in the face to me. Big shout out to John Kennedy. Hold tight. Keep it locked. Keep it locked, Morrissey. On your way back up to Leeds, hold tight. Okay, we. You know you say you stick that in the ground and grow it. Okay, I've got a lovely story for you. The Duchess of Cornwall invited a convict to decorate her home after watching him paint in prison. Do you know what I like about that? She's not a hypocrite. So many people go around those schemes and say, oh, yes, it's marvellous, all the employment you're teaching these convicts. Would you like one in your home, then? Well, no, but I'm sure other people will use it. Let's move on.
You sounded like the Major in Faulty Towers.
Vermin faulty. Right. Strikes. I don't know why we bother, Faulty. I didn't know you did, Major. Okay. The Duchess of Cornwall invited a convict to decorate her home after watching him paint in prison. While taking a tour through the workshop of Bounce Back, a charity that trains prisoners in construction skills at Brixton Prison in London, the Duchess spoke to inmates practicing their skills. Do you know, I was once up for one of those, those bogus Sony Award things that used to be. Do you remember the Radio Awards? Those fixed things, yeah. And I sat there for a whole night and just listened to like the prison radio won about 3 of them.
Oh, yeah, they did a really well one year, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they did. They won about 3 of them. I was sitting there, I was thinking, crap, I know they're going to get a break like that, and I stayed there. I really thought you got the opportunities outside. It's unbelievable, Downer.
Maybe they don't think you've rehabilitated yourself well enough yet.
I'm a recidivist. The charity has a large workshop with mocked-up rooms, windows and doors where prisoners can learn painting and decorating from scratch, prepared for work outside. It's a really good scheme.
Yeah.
One of the stupid things about prison, is that they spend a lot of money on... I'm not going to get too political here, so don't worry about it. I'm saying they spend a lot of money on the trial, the barristers.
Yeah.
This is where all the cash really is, yeah? And also it's just incarceration. But it's essentially, it's a bit like using the latest state-of-the-art equipment to diagnose someone with having something, yeah? Because that's really where the press is, that's where the publicity is. A monster has been caged, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's where the publicity is. It's right there, and that's where the money is. But then it's a bit like spending all the money on a diagnosis, getting a diagnosis and saying, yeah, you got something, whatever wrong with your leg. And then they send him off to someplace, and it's just like hacking the leg off with a rusty saw. Do you know what I mean? It's like one punishment fits all.
Yeah.
And they always say, let the punishment fit the crime. But all the punishment's virtually the same for everyone. And there's so this is good because people are being let out of prison with more than they had when they went in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a false economy. Otherwise, where's the investment gone? What does the public get for its money? It's getting people in a worse position than when they went in. But if they get training and things, everyone complains. Everyone's like, oh why? You sort of think, what? Do you want something worse coming out? Anyway, at the very end of this, the Duchess also visited the Clink, Her Majesty HMP Brixton's fully functioning restaurant. And she asked a table of regular diners, i.e. cons. Do you know what she said?
What?
She leant across, she said, "Do you come here often?"
This is Radio X.
Okay, you ready for this? Random Graffiti's on its way. Random graffiti, seemingly meaningless. Random graffiti, random graffiti. Why don't you send it in to us? La la la. Just added a little flourish it now.
Nice.
I just think it needed it.
Yeah.
Okay, it all started when I saw the word lager written in large letters on a wall in Clapham Junction. Then you sent in your examples of odd and often, I would say, meaningless graffiti. By now you'd have heard about the legendary Big Steve thinks Quidditch is real, which is still really where the bar's at. Apart from Happy Days, written in brown marker, should we say.
In a toilet.
In a toilet in Bristol.
Happy Days.
Which I still say is what every political poster in history is, essentially. When you really take everything away, that's what they're really promising. Happy Days written in poo.
Yeah.
Driving to Manchester this morning, I saw a dustbin van. On the back was written, "Fish don't blink, ever." Etched into the dirt. I instantly thought of you. Thank you so much, Anna. Anya, sorry. "Fish don't blink, ever." Okay, written on a chipboard panel of a recently broken window pane in a local greengrocer's. Do you know what it said? "I come through that window."
That's brilliant.
I come through. It's like THRU. I come through.
That's really, really tickled you, hasn't it?
Well, it's not serious.
I come through the window.
No, I come through. Sounds written on the chipboard. I come through that window, yeah?
That's brilliant.
That's how I roll. Oh, thank you so much, Andrew Higginbottom.
I like this one. There's no name here, but it says, "Sorry about your fence." On someone's fence.
Nice.
What you got?
Stephen sent this one in an alleyway in Sutton. It says, "If you notice this notice, you will notice this notice is not worth noticing," in bright yellow.
Nice, that's excellent. But I come through that window, yeah?
That's good. I love this one here. This is on an old war bunker near Chesham. There's no name with this. It just says, "Come in and stroke my cat." In a war bunker. That's brilliant.
Okay, I've got one more for you. It's one more. Written in a toilet in Liverpool, where so much good stuff is, actually.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of good gear up there.
It's been inspirational.
Good, really good stuff. You ready? Inspirational. It's an exhibition. We're ready for this. Pete Price melts steel beams.
That's pretty
I don't
good.
know, but I come through the window, yeah?
This is Radio X.
That was the podcast. I've been Johnny Vaughan.
I've been Gavin Woods.
And I've been Centre Templeton.
Doctor, if you don't mind.
Doctor.
Doc. Hope you've enjoyed this week. Thank you so much for joining us. And once again, congratulations.